Giants at the Bills, PJ, our first game on Saturday in the NFL preseason action. Now, the quarterbacks that are expected to be out there, we don't really know the New York Giants. Like, Brian Daboll's been really, just hush-hush about the whole thing. The only thing he's told us is that Jackson Dart's going to play. So we do know Jackson Dart will play. But, of course, Russell Wilson's on the roster, Jameis Winston, Tommy DeVito. It's a pretty decent preseason crew that the Giants got. For the Buffalo Bills, no Josh Allen. Mitchell Trubisky will be out there. Mike White will be out there. And then also a blast from the past, Shane Buechele will be out there as well for the Buffalo Bills. That betting market currently sits Bills 3-point favorites, total 36. Anything for you between the G-Men and the Bills?
No, passing on that game. Like you said, excited to watch Jackson Dart and see what he looks like in his debut for the Giants. The Bills are going to be resting a lot of starters, obviously. So I'm going to pass on that game. I think there's some other better bets on the board.
All right, so passing on the Giants and the Bills. For me, I keep going back and forth with this. I wanted to bet Buffalo, and at one point yesterday, this just kind of shows you how preseason lines really move. At one point yesterday, the Giants were a 3-point favorite. Now the Bills are the favorite in this game. I'm going to pass the side. I do like the total, though. I like the over. Give me over 36 in this game. 36.5 right now over at BetMGM. You can still find 36 in other places. Shop around as always. But as long as you're under 37, I think you're good. These quarterbacks are pretty solid. Shane Buechele, yeah, maybe not that great. But, Trubisky, that's the exact kind of quarterback that you want in the preseason. He's a really good athlete. He's played a bunch of football. Mike White has started regular season games. I think he can hold his own. And then for the Giants, they're all pretty solid athletes outside of Jameis Winston. He's probably the worst athlete of the three, but he's probably of the four, but he's probably the guy that's going to push the ball down the field the most. I like this as an overplay. So over 36 for me, G-Men and Bills Mafia. I doubt Russell Wilson plays, but we'll see what happens there, but I'll take the over. Let's move on to the Twin Cities, where the Houston Texans taking on the Minnesota Vikings. Quarterbacks expected to play. Davis Mills for Houston, no C.J. Stroud, but I think we'll see Davis Mills out there. Graham Mertz and Keaton Slovis, the other Texans quarterbacks. And for Minnesota, J.J. McCarthy, Sam Howell, Brett Rippon, and Max Brosmer. So anything you want to do here between the Texans and the Vikings, PJ? Minnesota, a 3-point favorite, total 37.5.
Another game that I'm not going to bet. I do think I would lean towards Minnesota, though, minus the 3, just because, they have the better compilation of quarterbacks. They're at home there. So I think that's a nice price at the minus 3. So don't think it's going to be an official bet for me, but I would lean Vikings.
Yeah, it's no bet for me. I think the market's just right with this game. I don't want to do anything with the total. If anything, it would be, like you said, a Vikings bet. But, the Houston Texans quarterback room is dreadful. Graham Mertz, I wouldn't even want to bet on him in a college football game, let alone an NFL football game. Come on now. So I'll be passing that one. How about in Duval? Steelers at the Jaguars. Liam Cohen, head coach of the Jaguars, says Trevor Lawrence and the starters will play. We'll see how for how long. The Steelers, though, will not be playing their starters. 15 key players will be out for Pittsburgh. So the quarterback situation, Steelers have Mason Rudolph, Skylar Thompson, and for Jacksonville, it's Trevor Lawrence, Nick Mullins, John Wolford, and Seth Hennigan. And looking at the betting market, you understand why Jacksonville is favored. The Jaguars, 4-point favorites, total 37. What do you like in this game?
I would look at Pittsburgh here plus the points, Femi. One thing I've noticed early on in preseason is when we've gotten these crazy line swings because one team has announced that they're going to play some of their starters, the other team isn't. You get these crazy movement. And so far, if you've just faded that big line move, you've been pretty profitable. So I like the Steelers. Coaching advantage here. Keep in mind, Liam Cohen's going to be coaching his first career NFL game as a head coach. Mm-hmm. Lawrence coming back from injury, play a couple of series. The advantage that maybe you think Jacksonville has, I don't know if it is as big of one because, again, Tomlin and the Steelers have been doing this a long time. So I do like the Steelers plus the points.
Yeah, I'm with you right there. Steelers plus 4 or 4.5. If you can find the 4.5, BetMGM has a 4.5. I would obviously seek that one out there. There's other shops that have 4.5s as well. But make sure you get the best number. This to me is just a handicap of the Steelers quarterback room. I'm all right, Mason Rudolph is not my favorite quarterback. I don't think he's anyone's favorite quarterback unless maybe his family. Outside of that, but Skylar Thompson has started a playoff game Skylar Thompson's also a really good athlete. Like, that's the kind of quarterback that I want to back, even more so than like a John Wolford. I know Nick Mullins is out there, but Nick Mullins is going to be going up against Mason Rudolph. That's not some big like discrepancy in quarterback play. So give me the points. Like, this to me is just way too much love on the Jacksonville side, and I'll take Skylar Thompson over John Wolford. I think Wolford's terrible. I don't even know why the Rams started him in that playoff game, and he lasted like all of one series. Like, no, it's not happening there. And I don't even know who the hell Seth Hennigan is. So I'm going to take the Pittsburgh Steelers. Give me the 4.5 points. I think Pittsburgh potentially wins the game, but they at least cover the number. Let's go to LA, though. The Cowboys at the Rams. Of course, Matthew Stafford is not going to play. He will work out before the game, though. If you don't know, the Rams will go ahead and tell everybody that's listening. Stafford's going to work out prior to the game. Dak Prescott will not be playing in this game. So for the Dallas Cowboys, it will be Joe Milton and Will Grier. And for the Rams, Stetson Bennett and Dresser Wynn. I don't expect Jimmy Garoppolo to be out there for the Los Angeles Rams. I'd be surprised if that's the case. Dallas, a 1.5-point road favorite. That total sitting at 33.5.
I like the over, Femi. You got two offensive coaches named Sean McVay and Brian Schottenheimer. You just listed the quarterbacks. I mean, Will Grier, Joe Milton. You got Stetson Bennett on the side for the Rams. But the real reason I like the over is because the Cowboys' defense has not been looking great so far in camp. Schottenheimer came out and talked about how they're being very vanilla. They're not trying to show too much. Well, if that's the approach that you want to show against a Sean McVay offense, then so be it. I'll take the over. I think 33.5 is too low.
I think that's such a cop-out of like, oh, we're not showing anything. No, you might just suck. like that might just be what it is. Like, the other team is showing the whole playbook, they're showing everything. I doubt that's the case. I think that's like the big cop out for these teams that are terrible. Like, oh, we're keeping the bullets in the chamber. Sure you are. All right. like come on. I can't wait for that lie to be debunked once we get 2 weeks into the season. I'm passing the game. I think it's right. Cowboys should be favored. I don't want any interest in Will Grier. I would love for Joe Milton to play the whole game. I'd love to see that, but that's not going to be the case. So I'm going to pass it. Let's go to Tampa, though. Titans at the Buccaneers. It will be Cam Ward that is out there for Tennessee. Brandon Allen, Tim Boyle behind him. For Tampa, Todd Bowles said he's going to play some of the young guys. So I'm anticipating that this is Kyle Trask. I don't know if Teddy Bridgewater is going to play. He just got there this week. So it might be Kyle Trask the whole way, PJ. We'll set the game up now. You can give us the bet on the other side, though. But Tennessee, a 3-point favorite, and the total sitting at 32.5. Real quick thought on the game. We'll talk more betting when we come back from break.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, I just want to see if Teddy Bridgewater is going to be out there. Trask has been in the league a couple of years, so you like that if you're back in Tampa in the game. But I think the line feels about right to me. Bucs -3.
Yeah, that's how it feels to me. Like the Tennessee is actually the favorite. Titans
sorry, Tennessee -3. Yes.
Yeah. I think the Titans should be favored. Cam Ward will be out there. They have a deeper quarterback room, and I don't trust Kyle Trask. Neither do they. Otherwise, they would not have signed Teddy Bridgewater. And so nothing for me on the side. I'm not even betting the total either, PJ. Are you doing anything with the total at this game?
No, nothing with the total. With the way that obviously the first 4 games have gone, you see a 32.5. People might be like, I'll just blindly take the over. I would caution against that. We see a lot of 33.5s, Femi. The reason this one is 32.5 is a little interesting, but I'm staying away.
Yeah, I'm going to pass that game as well. But let's continue with Saturday afternoon's action. Go to Lambeau Field, Jets at the Packers. We have now heard from both coaches, and both coaches said, we're playing our guys. Matt LaFleur said all 4 quarterbacks will get some work this weekend, meaning Jordan Love will be out there. For how long? Probably a series or 2 would be my guess, but Jordan Love will play nonetheless. Malik Willis, Sean Clifford, Taylor Elgersma, who we had a little bit of fun with yesterday on the program, coming out of the CFL. That is the Packers quarterback depth chart. For the Jets, Aaron Glenn said, our guys are going to play. Justin Fields, Adrian Martinez, because I believe Tyrod Taylor might be injured right now. So I think it's going to be Fields, Adrian Martinez, and Brady Cook. I have an angle with this game. I like the Packers in the first half. I think this is a pretty easy first half bet for me with Green Bay. I don't want to get into the Taylor Elgersma business. Like, let's leave that off to the side. I trust Jordan Love. Like, the way I'm envisioning it, PJ, is that, all right, Jordan Love's probably going to play like 1 to 2 series. Great. Malik Willis is probably going to play like probably a quarter, so maybe like midway through the first quarter to midway through the second quarter, and then maybe Sean Clifford finishes out the second quarter, and then maybe plays in the third quarter, and then maybe Elgersma shows up for the fourth. Like, I like the Packers rotation up to halftime. So I don't want to mess around with the second half. I'll just lay the number in the first half, and I'm looking at the betting market right now. Green Bay, there's not a whole lot of places that have the first half markets up, but one place does. 2.5 is what I see. I'll take that all day, every day. I think the Packers show up in the first half. So that's how I'm betting it. How are you betting Jets at the Pack?
So both of our bets can win. I'm just going to take the Jets +3, and it's probably one of my favorite bets of the weekend, Femi. And it's
all right. Now talk to me.
It's all because of Aaron Glenn, Femi. All right, like this is the stuff I look for in the preseason. Is a first-year head coach who's trying to come in there and change the culture, and we know that's what Aaron Glenn is all about. He saw firsthand what Dan Campbell was able to do in Detroit, and that's what he's trying to bring to the New York Jets. We saw that early. He made that statement with Aaron Rodgers where he's like, no, we're not dealing with any of that. We're bringing in Fields. He's going to be our quarterback. They're going to be playing hard. Like he said, his guys are going to be out there starting. So, I mean, you make a great case. Jordan Love's going to play. They're going to have all their offensive guys out there, but the Jets are going to have their defensive guys out there too. So it's going to be some real football early on in that game. Then I think when we get into the second half, third, fourth quarter, Jets are going to be playing their butts off. You got guys who want to win jobs, guys who want to be on the team, and a head coach who is going to be preaching effort and is going to want to see that. So that bodes well for an underdog, Femi. I like the Jets +3 a lot tomorrow night.
I love it. It's going to be real football out there, which is what we want to see as fans, right? Like, it's not going to be quite what we're going to get next month, but, hey, this is going to be as good as it gets pretty much. So all the quarterbacks on the roster will be playing in this game, which we're absolutely looking forward to. So PJ likes the Jets full game. I'm just going to mess with the Packers in the first half. Let's go to the desert where we'll have real football in this one as well, because both Andy Reid and Jonathan Gannon said, you're going to see our starters out there. So Patrick Mahomes is expected to play a full quarter. Kyler Murray, he didn't play last year in the preseason, but is going to play tomorrow against the Kansas City Chiefs. So for the quarterback depth charts that we have to work with here, you got Mahomes for the Chiefs, Gardner Minshew as QB2. Minshew, terrible in the regular season, but in the preseason, hey, I mean, he's a pretty serviceable quarterback in the preseason. Bailey Zappi, and then Chris Olodokun, who will also be playing for the Kansas City Chiefs. And for Arizona, Kyler Murray, Jacoby Brissett, who's played a bunch of regular season games, and then Clayton Tune, who every time I see his name, all I can remember is that time the Cardinals made him start against the Cleveland Browns, and it was an absolute disaster. So that's the quarterback depth chart for both of these teams. It's why the total is really, really high for a preseason game. 39.5 is the total. Kansas City, a 2.5-point favorite. It looks like we might be headed towards 3 in a number of different spots here. I'm still going back and forth on what I want to do with this game. I lean a little bit to the over, but man, it's pretty high, but it might not be high enough sitting at 39 or 39.5.
No, I agree with you. I do like Kansas City, though, minus the 2.5. So you mentioned Mahomes going to play the first quarter. Minshew's going to take over, which, again, for a preseason game as a backup, that's pretty good. If you can go to that, and on top of that, you're going to have Andy Reid calling plays. I like Kansas City. I mean, with their coaching staff in this game, the starters playing the first quarter, I like them minus the 2.5. So I think getting this under 3 is actually a good bet. I like the Chiefs.
Yeah, no, I absolutely like the Chiefs. If I had to bet the side, I would like the Chiefs, but I'm just going to go ahead and mess with the total because I think Arizona, Jacoby Brissett can be pretty good in the preseason. So he's not a good athlete, which is a little bit of a bummer there, but at least he's played enough football he should know what to do in certain situations. And then, of course, the Chiefs guys have played a bunch of football as well. So if I had to bet the side, it would be Kansas City. I'm not going to do that, though. I will bet the over 39 and try to find the best number there. So over for me, Chiefs for PJ. Let's go to the Bay Area, though, as we continue to work through some of these games on Saturday. The last game on Saturday will be between the Denver Broncos and the San Francisco 49ers. Denver says they're going to play their guys. That's what Sean Payton told the media yesterday. So Bo Nix will be out there probably for a series or two. Jarrett Stidham will be out there, really good quarterback that you want in the preseason. And Sam Ehlinger, another really good quarterback that you want in the preseason, going up against the 4s and the 5s. Good athlete. That's the kind of guy that you want to have out there when your bet is being decided. And also, by the way, Sam Ehlinger's played quite a bit of regular season games. So I think this is a pretty good setup for Denver. On San Francisco's side, Kyle Shanahan said that Brock Purdy will not be playing. Neither is Kittle or McCaffrey or all those guys that you would expect the key players, impact players for the 49ers. So my guess, he has not outlined this, but my guess is that we're going to see Mac Jones and then Carter Bradley, because Curtis Rourke, another quarterback on the roster who we saw play last year at Indiana, he's currently injured. So I don't think Curtis Rourke is going to be playing this game. So it's going to be Mac Jones. It's going to be Carter Bradley. My guess is that we see Mac Jones for like a quarter and a half, maybe even the whole first half, because I don't think they want to have Carter Bradley out there playing 3 quarters. So with that knowledge, a little bit on the downside for the 49ers. Denver, though, it looks pretty good. That's why the Broncos are a full touchdown favorite, 7-point favorites on the road, and the total sitting at 34.5. I don't think I'm doing anything with this game. I'm going to pass it just because I don't like the setup for San Francisco. PJ, is there a betting angle that you would like to attack between the Broncos and the Niners?
I would pass as well. I do not want to lay nearly a touchdown with a team on the road in the preseason, but I think it would actually be Denver or pass for me in this game if I had to bet it, just because you highlighted the quarterback situation. And Femi, we know with San Francisco, man, like in the regular season, when they have injuries to their key guys or they're not playing, they're just a completely different team. And obviously none of them are going to be playing in this game. I know it's going to be backups for Denver for much of the game, but those starters can get a lead. And if San Francisco's playing catch up, it could get ugly. So no interest in laying 6.5 with the team on the road in the preseason. But if I had to do it, I think the Broncos would be a good team to do it with.
It also doesn't feel like Sean Payton might try to make a statement. like he might just like run the score up and like all of a sudden Denver wins like 38-7 or something like that. I don't know. Yeah, I think I'm with you. Like I'd either bet the Broncos or not bet the game at all. Real quick, give me like 30 seconds. Where are you at with Denver? Like I've been asking everybody this question. I think I'm the only person that's like down on this team. The whole world likes them. Like this has been Broncos week in terms of the hype machine. But like where are you at with the Broncos?
So my thing with Denver last year is, yeah, they had a good season, and they got a great defense, and Sean Payton's a terrific coach. But, like, you look at who their wins were against, Femi, they didn't really beat, like, anybody. You know what I mean? They beat Kansas City at the end of the year when they rested all their guys. They beat the Colts, they beat the Browns, they beat the Raiders, the Falcons, the Panthers, the Saints, the Raiders again, the Jets, and the Bucs. They beat one playoff team last year. It was the Bucs. That's it. So that's my thing with Denver. You know, we fall in love with the roster and the defense, and Surtain Defensive Player of the Year, and Bo Nix was so great as a rookie. And then it's like, all right, well, if we're all playing this game with like Cincinnati and they didn't beat anybody last year just because their defense isn't any good, well, their offense is amazing and they got Joe Burrow. Like, you got to look at that with the Broncos. They didn't beat anybody last year. When they went up against good teams, well, they lost at Seattle. They lost against Pittsburgh. They got smoked by Baltimore. They lost to Kansas City. They lost to the Chargers. So they were losing to those playoff caliber teams. And I'm not as big a Bo Nix guy as everybody else is. I think Bo Nix is a good player. Is Bo Nix somebody I want to trust when there's expectations with him? No, he is not. So I, like you, would more so invest in the Raiders in the AFC West than I would with the Denver Broncos. I'm not as high on them as I am on some other teams.
Yeah, to me, Denver, I think it's like a little bit like it's the hype has gone way too far on the Denver Broncos.
Agreed.
So that's kind of how I feel about that team right now. So we will pass the game. Denver, though, once again, is 7-point favorite. Let's go to the game that's going to be in Miami, Bears and the Dolphins. The quarterback depth chart right now, you have Miami. Mike McDaniel's been pretty mum about what he's going to do. I don't know why these coaches think that we need a cloak and dagger the preseason. It's a freaking preseason game. What are we talking about? But Tua, we don't know if he's going to be playing. Zach Wilson is going to get some time. Quinn Ewers, quarterback at Texas, he'll also be playing for the Miami Dolphins. For Chicago, Ben Johnson said no Caleb Williams. So we're going to see Tyson Bagent, Case Keenum, who's played in an NFC title game. That's the kind of quarterback you want in the preseason. And then Austin Reed. So looking at the betting marker right now, this game on Sunday in Chicago, the Bears 3-point favorites, total 34.5. Any bet for you between the Dolphins and the Bears?
No bet for me, but man, I can't wait to watch it. I think a lot of people are going to want to fade the Dolphins just because kind of how the last couple of weeks have gone. It came out that Tua threw 3 picks today in the joint practice, so it's not looking good right now for Miami. But again, it feels like you listen to Ben Johnson talk, and it's more bad things than good things, and that things aren't going well. Some of the videos that have been surfacing with Caleb Williams and how he's been playing hasn't been great. I know he's not going to play in this game. I just want to stay far away from both of these teams right now. Both of these teams are not in a good spot. I'm not liking what I'm seeing, what I'm hearing. So I'm staying far away from this game.
Yeah, I'll be staying away from this game as well. It feels like we should be saying Caleb Williams, but hey, you know what? I don't run the Chicago Bears. Ben Johnson does. So I guess they're going to go ahead and put Tyson Bagent out there. Like the total to me, maybe that's a way that you could play this, but then also couldn't you see the Miami quarterbacks being pretty solid? Like, the reports for Quinn Ewers have been pretty good at a training camp. And then Zach Wilson, against scrubs, Zach Wilson's probably fine. You don't want him out there in the regular season, but against bad preseason guys, he's a good athlete. He's got a big arm. Could do a hell of a lot worse than Zach Wilson in the preseason. So, yeah, I think for me, maybe a slight lean to the over, but it's started to get bet up over the last about 24 hours or so. So I'm going to go ahead and pass that game. The final game that we have on our preseason docket, this will also be Sunday afternoon in LA. Saints at the Chargers. We know what New Orleans is doing. They have motivation. There's something that they're trying to accomplish, and that is to figure out who will be starting week 1 at quarterback. So we're going to see everyone. Spencer Rattler, Tyler Shuck, Jake Haener, and then Hunter Deckers, who I've never heard of in my life, but he'll also be playing in the game, I'm assuming. But Rattler, Shuck, and Haener are the big guys out there for New Orleans. For the Chargers, you have Justin Herbert. We don't know if he's going to be playing at all. Like, Jim Harbaugh has said nothing. I'm assuming maybe he'll say something tomorrow because it's a game on Sunday, so he doesn't really have to talk about availability right now. But if Herbert's not out there, Taylor Heineke, Trey Lance, who looked pretty good last week in the Hall of Fame game, and then DJ Uiagalelei will also be playing for the Chargers. What would you like to do in this preseason game, Saints at the Bolts?
I like the Saints, Femi, at minus 115. You mentioned they're obviously looking for their quarterback, so we're going to see a bunch of those guys play a majority of the game as they try to figure out who's going to be their week 1 starter. And then if you're the Chargers, I think this is a team that I'm looking to fade just because of what happened with Slater and that injury. And at the end of the day, these guys are humans, right? And this is always the worst part of preseason and training camp every year are these injuries. They're coming, and it's just the worst, especially when it's a player as great as Slater, as important as Slater is to that Charger team. And this isn't like a regular season game where it's like he goes down and, let's win it for Slater, right? This is a preseason game where these guys are like, let's just get out of here unscathed. We don't need any more of this. So I don't want to say the Chargers are going to be walking through the motions or playing scared out there, but I mean, how are they not going to be thinking about Slater, right? And just hoping that they can kind of get out of there healthy. While these Saints quarterbacks are fighting to be the starter, I like New Orleans minus 115.
Yeah, let's win it for Rashawn. Let's do it. Get
let's
the t-shirts
win the preseason game for our guy.
Yeah, I'm not messing with the side. I do like the total, though. I'm going to go over. Over 36.5. I like what I saw from Trey Lance. I know it's the Hall of Fame game. We're not putting him and crowning him or anything like that, but he looked rather competent against backups. Guess what he's going to be playing in this game? Other backups. So I do like the Chargers setup. I think the Saints, the fact that they're trying to accomplish something, they're going to actually run some decent plays. So give me over 36.5 with the Saints in the quarterback competition and the Chargers QB room being pretty solid with Heineke and Trey Lance.